Hey, how you doing? Hey, it's your old buddy, the deplorable Jazz McKay. I'm wondering if you happen to have catched this little video clip of everyone's favorite douche nozzle, Tim Walz, talking to a bunch of college kids in North Carolina, trying to scare these poor kids. Watch this.
Some years, I didn't think I'd ever see a candidate for president praising Adolf Hitler's generals or talking about using the military against their enemies. And I mean, it's pretty stunning. And I said, look, I recognize I'm on the top of his list, but don't kid yourself. You're somewhere on that list, too, if you disagree with these people. That's who they are.
Let me tell you who they are. Tim Walz and the rest of the douche nozzles in the Democrat Party. They are practitioners of one of the great old school political philosophies for the 20th century. Nobody's really sure who said it first. So it's attributed to Karl Marx, Joseph Goebbels, and sometimes simply to Saul Alinsky or some other leftist radical activist somewhere in the 50s. But that philosophy is to accuse your enemy of that which you yourself are guilty. And that's exactly what they're doing when they talk about Donald Trump locking them all. And that's another thing. Does Tim Walz really think he's important enough for Donald Trump to target, to have arrested and loaded into a boxcar and sent to some camp, some death camp? So are you freaking kidding me? Tim Walz, you are insignificant as hell. But listen to this. President Joe Biden talking about doing exactly what Tim Walz is accusing Donald Trump of planning.
It sounds like if I said this 5 years ago, you'd lock me up. We got to lock him up.
Now, even Biden did have the sense enough there to walk it back a few seconds later and say, we want him politically locked up. That was right after the audience cheered there. But Kamala Harris hasn't done so. No siree. Harris has not yet condemned or commented on Biden's statement, although the Trump campaign has called on her to do so. So far, she has refused. Now, if you want to know anything about how Kamala Harris weaponizes her political position within government to go after her enemies, I suggest you Google David Daleiden. Read his story. This is a guy here in California when she was Attorney General who had exposed illegal activity that was being committed by one of her primary donors, one of the big donors to her campaign as AG and eventually into the Senate. And that donor was Planned Parenthood. And that crime that Planned Parenthood was accused of committing, selling dead baby body parts on the black market. A multi-million-dollar operation for the abortion industry. An industry which donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to Democrats throughout California, including the Attorney General of the state, Kamala Harris, who then pursued an investigation. But not into Planned Parenthood. Oh, no. Into the man who broke the story. So, if you're curious about whether Kamala Harris and the Democrats would lock up their political opponents, perhaps you should ask the guy who's experienced her tactics firsthand, David Daleiden. After all, actions speak louder than words, and she has a track record of targeting her enemies. Thanks for watching. Follow me on X at Deplorable Jazz. God bless America and death to the New World Order.